Adrian Molato, Vice President of Consulting at Next Generation Inc. We've been a partner with Workforce for over 10 years, partnering up with them on multiple implementations across many industries in many countries. So we had a notable success with a multinational industry where we incorporated a scalable scheduling solution that reduced overtime costs and increased compliance. Most notably, we've had successes with the largest county in the US, where we reduced their overtime costs and increased their compliance with regulations. So some of the complexities at the forefront of a modern, workforce management solution are labor shortages, compliance pressure, and the expectation that the deskless workforce will have a large say in the project. That's not happening today, and we've seen that those components do lead to less engagement, more resistance to change. So a lot of newer projects and companies we've been working with are going with a mobile-first approach, where end users will have all the capability with their smartphone to submit their time off, to do a shift swap, to notify their manager that they won't be in for that morning or will be late. So end users will have that capability. Managers in turn will also be going with the mobile-first capability of doing those approvals, seeing any trending reports, and approving any overtime that does come their way. So the first item is getting executive buy-in, and not just buy-in, but also executive participation. So if you get executives to actually follow through with what is being changed, the new system, whether it's a new process, but having them actually incorporate it into their daily workflow ensures that they are going through the process as well and can then kind of initiate that change because they're going through it in tandem with the rest of the company. The second item is early and transparent communication. So the earlier you get conversations going, even if you don't have all the answers, at least get the questions out there to understand what are we looking to change, why are we looking to change, and how are we going to change it. Getting those conversations early on will reduce resistance and actually help people adjust as they go through the process. The third critical item is engaging stakeholders at every level. And by every level, I mean not just at the top. You want to flatten the hierarchy where you're not just involving executives and managers, but involving, the HR people, the timekeepers, your standard end user that will be directly impacted by this change. And by doing that, you're giving them ownership. You're helping them kind of be involved in the testing, in the build, in the solutioning, where they have ownership from the start. So when they actually have to start using it in production, it's not that much of a change anymore. It's actually greasing the wheels to ensure your success. Right, the operational benefit for the typical end user is having that capability to enter their time remotely, enter their PTO requests, shift swaps in a way that will be efficient for them without having to actually go to a desk or file paperwork. From a manager's perspective and from an operational perspective, there's reports that are driven from this, that they can determine who's at the right place at the right time. They can run schedules, they can approve time off. These are things that, from a legacy standpoint, they may not be able to do in a legacy system, but in a newer, more modern system for workforce management, they can do all of this either remotely or on the fly. So there's tangible benefits to an operational standpoint. The overall benefits of it are, these workforce management solutions are not just silos. They will interact with HCM systems, they'll interact with payroll systems, they'll interact with ERP systems. This will give management executives that holistic view of the employee workforce, not just their time and pay, but also how they impact HR, finances, budgeting, and so forth.